Saturday morning, the 1st of November, 2025. I guess this is Cass White Road. Exit 296, I-75. We're headed west towards US 41. We've just come through that big industrial area, but there's industrial all over here too. But this is a nice little drive through here. And like I said, this is just a Sunday morning drive and talk, running my mouth and driving around North Georgia. So ride along with us. Please like, share, and subscribe. We need the subscribers. We need the watches, the watch hours, the views, the viewers. We need all of this. We're recording this with the Osmo Action 5, 1920 by 1080, 30 frames a second, full high definition. We may start going to 60 frames a second. I think we will stop this and change the battery. And well, it's still got white on it. We may change it to 60 frames a second. It'll be a much larger file size, but that will give us more versatility in editing. When I'm using the Osmo, I have to download to the computer, edit the computer, then re-upload. I can transfer the file back to the phones and upload to where it doesn't count against my gigabyte hotspot totals. But and generally everywhere we're at, we have such a slow connection. Trying to upload a 15 to 20 or more minute video, it takes forever. If we've got a 5G connection, we can upload an hour-long video in 15-20 minutes. But where we normally are, it takes all day or all night long. So we've gotten where we're using the phones a lot more. We use 4 different phones. We use a Samsung S22 Ultra, a Samsung S22, a Google Pixel 9 Pro Plus or 9 Plus Pro, and a Samsung S20. And when we're using just the phones and not using the Osmo or the GoPro, we also have a GoPro Black 10 that we use, but it's not nearly as dependable. It is all I can do if I'm using just the phones to keep them charged and uploading, have the videos uploaded and keeping them charged and not for overheating. Is all I can do, even with 4 phones. People ask me why I need 4 phones. I don't need 4 lines, but then too, depending on gigabyte uploads, my hotspot limits, I do need 4 phones. Now, one of them I don't have a line with it. I've just got 3 lines, but then I also have a pad I'll use as a hotspot to upload. I use it very sparingly for videos simply because it's bulky. It does good video, but I don't use it much for video. Coming into Cass. A lot of Civil War activity around here. The cemetery we passed has a Civil War section. We're not far from Kingston, has a Civil War cemetery. We're on our way to Buc-ee's. We'll go down here, turn around, and come back and pass through this stop sign because I want to get a better picture of that little building right there. New homes right here. Cassville Museum. We could have turned around right there, I guess. Cassville United Methodist Church. It looks like they're doing some renovation up there. An old historic church. Let's see if we can turn and catch that road this way. It doesn't look like we can. No, that's a nice little barnuminium type of thing, and I I like these barnuminiums. I'm also looking for a little patch of land. If I find a little patch of land that I could plop a tiny home down on, it would be very nice. Okay, that's US 41. That's where we're ultimately heading over there. But let's go back through Cassville and get some of the historic buildings. What do y'all want from Buc-ee's? I've got several orders. I've told these people to be kind and with their request unless they want to pay for it. Yeah, we do need to go ahead and change the battery. It's on yellow. When we get down here to 41, we'll change the battery. I didn't get a picture of these mounts either. I need to get a picture of the mounts we use for the windshield, for the Osmo, and the phones. It's a ball swivel mounted on a suction cup. Now here is the museum over here, and here is this little store under new management, Cass Grocery. I'm pretty sure we've got a vacuum leak. We've got a whistle up there. I don't think it's under the dash. It sounds like it's outside in the engine bay. Now we'll be coming down to whatever, US 41, and we will turn north to the right. And there are two Civil War history markers here at this creek and bridge, and we have video of them. Should be on our Civil War video playlist. And we'll sell that old van. That may be an old body style that's a little bit older than I want, but for the right price, I'd buy it. We'll probably be heading back to Athens tomorrow morning early. Probably cut down 75 and figure out a way to try to figure out a different way to go through Atlanta. We've been through Atlanta about every way I can figure it to go. You could get off at Northside Drive and go through Buckhead again. We've done that, but it's been a while. Okay, we're going to turn this off. We're going to swap batteries. And then we'll turn it back on to go up US 41. And we have this video, but we do not have it on Saturday, the first day of November 2025. We will now. Cassville. I can't quite read it. Something and Two Run Creek. Okay, let's cut it off and change the battery. It looks like Gravely Plateau and Two Run Creek. Starting back off US 41 North, this bridge was built in 1949, the year of our birth. We have a bumper truck closing in on us. We're going to pull over and let him by. And like I said, unless you just like riding around listening to me run my mouth and looking at scenery and everything on a fall Saturday morning, you're probably not going to like this video. But if you like just riding around U.S. highways, Georgia highways, fall days, and listening to me yap, then you will like it. closing in on 3,700 now. Rain videos, night videos, silent videos, drone videos, construction videos, underwater drone, repair videos, product reviews. There's something on the channel. Everything is family rated. I don't think I've got anything that is not family rated. The channel might do better if I did. Hire me some dancing girls or something or other. Something. I need 2 or 3, 4, 5, 10 videos to go viral. 100,000, 150,000 views. I've had a couple hit 10,000. Getting the views up to about 10, 15,000 and the watch time from 25% up to 75 or 80%. That is the challenge, and the click-through rate. Get it up where when people land on the video, they watch the video instead of click through it. My rate is down around 3. It needs to be up around 10, up around 8, 10. I guess I need to produce more interesting videos. I don't know. I'm trying to appeal to a more international audience, or trying to bring in more international viewers. I'm starting to use international language hashtags. My Gemini assistant has said that is a very good idea. People in other countries type in hashtags depending on their language. So I need to get driving tours. I need to get historic driving videos. Hashtags in Spanish, French, German, Italian. Looking at my analytics, I need to have more Ukrainian, Russian, Indian language. Of course, Indian language, I guess, is English. It may be Hindi, but I need to have foreign language hashtags where people in other countries can pick up these videos will be shown to them. And if they're interested in driving around U.S. cities and roads, wildlife management areas, that they will be clicking on them and increase my subscribers, make a much broader base. Now a lot of this along here, I don't know if that over there we're running parallel to it. It may be. There's an old US 41. And when they did the new 41, like I said, when that bridge back there, you can tell when a lot of these roads were done. When you go across these bridges, that's when the roads were either paved or either raised up and the new bridges installed. You see, 1949, that could very well have been US 41 over there, the old 2-lane. And then they raised this up higher than the creeks, did the newer bridges. But yeah, if you're out in the country riding these roads and you come across these bridges at 19th and those style that we came across back there up to the late 60s, that is a lot of times that is when that road was paved. It was a dirt road and they came through there, destroyed the old bridge, built up a new bridge, raised it up higher where it wouldn't flood. A lot of these old bridges, these country roads, the bridges would flood. A lot of them didn't have bridges. You had to go through the creeks. I remember there was a creek up off McAfee Road in DeKalb County that we used to have to go through. It was a rocky shoal type creek too. I loved that. It was a great place. Right up here in DeKalb County in the 50s. See, I think this road we're crossing, unless this is railroad, I think this road here was old US 41. We'll be coming into Adairsville, and we will take old US 41 into Adairsville. We did this Sunday a couple of weeks ago, and we went through this big subdivision. We're not going to go through it this time. We'll just go right through Adairsville. We may catch a train. Seems like we got a train last time. We've got a train video or two that we need to get uploaded. This video is probably going to be an hour video. I'm just going to run my mouth and drive around. You know, Saturday morning, looking for something to do on Saturday night, just want to see some Georgia back roads in fall, or U.S. highways, byways, and listen to all the false information and stuff I give out. I need to put on some skits of some sort. I was down in below Ludowici, speed trap capital of the world in the 1960s, and I was at Morgan Lake, and there's a railroad trestle there and also a boat landing, and I was messing with my daughter one time. I let the camera run, and I acted like I was, walked down to the creek, or I mean, not to the creek, to the river, walked down to the lake, and I acted like I saw something in there, and I was pointing at it, and all of a sudden I jumped and started running back up towards the van, and acted like there was something chasing me, and it was all I could do to get her convinced that I was just fooling with her. I wasn't really doing anything, that I did it all for her benefit. She just didn't want to believe that. She said, "Boy, that was good." I didn't believe it. I pulled it off. I ought to be in the movies. We're running 50 miles an hour. I wonder if this guy's going to say something to us. I bet the speed limit's 55. Sheriff, Bartow County, how you doing, buddy? Patrol. You're my buddy unless you come out behind us. There's a Chevrolet van over there. Yeah, they're paving that road over there to the left. That's where that big subdivision is over there. We'll turn and go down, and I guess that's old US 41. We'll try to turn and let you see some of that over there. We're going to start trying to turn this camera more. This, like I said, we're using the Osmo Action 5. Let you get some side views of it as we're going down the road. Give you a wider field of view. I think we can cut through here, I believe. Cut through the old US 41. Bumper truck trying to push us, slap off the road. Piece of junk. He ought to have been thanking us. I expect he'd have been running 65 miles an hour if we hadn't been in front of him. Bartow County would have given him a welcome to Bartow County $200 ticket. There's no telling how many people I've saved an expensive ticket. Saved them from getting a $200 or more ticket. And they don't appreciate it. have some videos on. How you doing this Saturday morning? The city of Adairsville, Georgia. The great locomotive chase came. Look, there's a train. We're gonna miss it. We're not gonna catch the locomotive. We could probably beat it further up north. Looked like it was running about 40 miles an hour. Look at that old house there. General merchandise, drink Coca-Cola. This one way we can't turn down through here, I don't think. Yeah, we can go this way. Okay. We can go this way. But you can't come from that way. This way, but no that way. Train moving along pretty good. We'd have to run pretty good to catch up, pass it. We could probably catch it by the time we got to Calhoun. Now see, this is where the Insta360 is so good, but we don't have a microphone that'll work on it. We've got to get a microphone that'll work on it. The Insta360 X5 has one for about 50 bucks, but it's not compatible with the Insta360 X3 yet. Okay, we got somebody on us. Doggone it, people. Come on around. Let's back up, and I want to turn the camera to the other side and get the old railroad depot and the mural of the great locomotive chase. Yeah, we've got Kingston. We've got a lot of the little cities and stuff where the great locomotive chase took place. And just last week or so, a couple of weeks ago, we were curious. I'd often thought about it, but never looked for it. The Adairsville History Museum and Welcome Center. We went and got outside of Ringgold, Georgia. We went and got the site of the end of the Great Locomotive Chase. Number 3, and something else I learned the other day when I was in Cornelia at that railroad museum. See that plume on that locomotive? I don't know if you can see it or not. If it has a plume on that stack, it is for wood, and if it has a straight stack, it is for coal. I found that very interesting myself. Okay, we can't go that way, can we? That's one way only. I wanted to get that church. Street, and see, here we go, historic old route US 41 Peacock Alley route. Let's turn this off. Let's get a picture of that, individual picture of that with the camera, phone camera. Okay, we got it. I like Adairsville. I like this whole area, all of northwest Georgia up through here. We're going to be looking at a house with a long-time friend and his family over in Silver Creek today. And I'm not representing him in real estate. My real estate license is lapsed. I do not practice real estate on any level now. I'm just giving him, my opinion about construction of the house, lay of the land, whether they can subdivide the lot, whether they can possibly subdivide the lot, get another house with a tank, a septic tank on it, that kind of stuff. He's got a good agent, and so he does not need representation from me anyway. So I'm trying to make this channel at least break even. I had a real estate license since 1979 and let it lapse 2 years ago, and real estate has gotten to be aggravating. I was grandfathered on the continuing ed, and I would have kept my license, but I let it lapse when I was working for WRI, Meritrust Residential, and when I did that, they made me start getting the continuing ed, and that's just more trouble than it's worth, so I don't mess with it. This is Georgia 140. To the left, it ends about 15 miles over at US 27 and whatever, and to the right it goes over and stops at Jimmy Carter and I-85. A lot of cars out there. Nice cemetery, old cemetery. It's got some old graves up there. I said, this is old US Highway 41. I've been up it many times. We've got several videos of this. So I said, unless you just like riding around with me listening, you've seen this, or there's several other videos of this very same video. We're just doing a Saturday morning ride and drive, ride and talk. Now I said, these bridges here, they don't have a date on them. I'm thinking they were pre-1920. I'm thinking, early 1900s. It's my best guess, comparing all the other bridges that we have run across. Let's go ahead and hit 41 here, where the main road, and let you see some of this out there from Adairsville, north of Adairsville on US 41. Look at all of that stuff. That's just part of it. That's nowhere near all of the logistical warehouse stuff. There's a slew of it out there, all the way up past Calhoun. I think Georgia's going to be the warehouse capital of the country. If this stuff ever fills up, we'll have so much merchandise, we'll be able to supply, especially if we were to start storing strategic metals or rare earth metals. If we were to be able to start stockpiling that stuff, we could store a bunch of stuff. That would be of great value in the future. A lot of people don't realize we're actually in World War III now. The Chinese and the Russians are attacking us, not militarily now, but economically and socially, societally, with drugs. If you doubt what I say, do a little investigating. Investigate the drug wars. East India Tea Company. How Great Britain conquered China and got control of Hong Kong in that treaty, the surrender treaty. Got control of Hong Kong for 100 years. East India Tea Company was the largest supplier of drugs and opium. Got the Chinese so messed up, they didn't know what they were doing, had to surrender. If you look at history, I know they say the Brits are our best friends and all this kind of stuff, but if you look at history, if you look at what Great Britain and the English have done throughout history for the last 1,000 years, everywhere they go, they have made a mess and then left. India, South South Africa. They're the ones that divided up the Middle East. The Ottoman Empire filed that up. Everything they touch they mess up. And why the United States, citizens of the United States are infatuated with the royal family of England, I have no idea. As far as I'm concerned, they're a bunch of deviants. Okay, enough of that. How many people did I run off with that little rant? Osage orange grove right here to the left, they're all gone now, but we stopped and got some big ones there about a month ago. Coming up on this road sign, Old Dixie Highway. There's a sign there, and then this sign up here. We need to get us one of these signs. They're just held on by a couple of look like half-inch 7/16 nuts. We need to we need to confiscate one of those signs. Where are we going from here, folks? I'm going to try to put some video together off the phones, start uploading them when we get to Buc-ee's, then we'll go in, get some stuff. The last 2 times we've been here, this place was packed like sardines. Tighter than sardines. In case y'all never never had a can of sardines, you open it up and they're packed in there tight as you can get them. My reference. Sardines and soda crackers, ooh, they're so good. This Buc-ee's also has a car wash. There's a Love's right across the street. We may get another Love's coffee. Filled up with gas at Love's in Emerson, 10 cents a gallon off. We got it for $2.41. Okay, this is Georgia Highway 53. Now this is the bypass, the alternate or whatever. Cuts south of Calhoun. I think a Union Grove Church road. But 53 goes on over in through Rome over into Alabama, and on the east going across, it cuts across a large arc across North Georgia and ends up over in Watkinsville. Dead ends. Get it, Speed Racer? It must be heading to Buc-ee's. They got to get to Buc-ee's. Why'd you hit your brake? Get on through that light and get to Buc-ee's. Saturday morning, 11 o'clock. Look at all the traffic heading on 75. I guarantee you most of it came out of Buc-ee's too. Look at this. That newest one down at exit, I think 4041 in Brunswick, where the Buc-ee's is down there. That was I loved that exit and Highway 99 right there. And I just know Buc-ee's has rent that place. Right there next to Altima Wildlife Management Area, that old hunting preserve. There used to be a bunch of rich Yankees come down. They owned it. Had fishing ponds, hunting trips, and everything down there. And there's a huge housing complex going in right next to it. And look, he just had to get around us quick. Look, he didn't make it through this light. There he is sitting up there ready to go in Buc-ee's. There he is, turning right into Buc-ee's. And he just had to zip around us. You know, sometimes people, you gotta wonder about their mental abilities. They really think they're getting ahead of something, making time, or getting further down the road. Do they not really realize that they're not? And we're not going to go in this entrance right here. See, it's already backed up trying to get in there. We're going to go up one. Well, they're from out of state. That explains a lot. Okay, we're going to park out here. That way we can get out of here. And we will go out this back exit, not the front exit. We could get a coffee in here if it's not too crowded. There you go, folks. Buc-ee! We had this on 1.5. We may drop it back to 1, or maybe 1.25. Give you a little bit wider field of view. 1.2. There we go. Let's cut this off now. We'll go in and well, we're going to go ahead and get some video uploading from on the phone, and then go in and fight these people for some stuff and get out of here.